Hi, I'm Alyssa Barre. I'm an orthopedic surgery resident here. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us today, Shelby. Tell me a little bit about you. I got my first arm from Shriners in 2017, and then I came back and got this one last year. Tell me about your old arm and what you didn't like about it. Well, my old arms were very heavy and they were hard to operate sometimes, just because I didn't have a lot of support. And like my cosmetic one was like it was the most realistic, but outside of that, I couldn't really do anything with it. And what made you want to switch to this style that you have now?
It was just a lot easier to use compared to these two, based on what I'd heard. And I liked that it had support for my shoulders because, again, that was the biggest thing that I didn't like about this one. It was just too heavy for me. So this one gives me the support I need to make it lightweight, and it's just more precise. And like this one had to be charged all the time, which I would forget to do sometimes. So this one I can just pick up and go with it.
Helps me feel balanced out, or like when I'm wearing long sleeves, I don't have like an awkward extra area, and it just helps me with really just any activities, or I'm learning to write with it also. And it's just really beneficial all around. What difference did you see between Shelby's myoelectric versus her body powered?
The myoelectric, because it had the computer in it and it had to be charged, it was very heavy. So because she has a smaller residual below her elbow, it was really heavy, and it was hard for her to control it because she only had so much for it to work off of. So that was definitely something that was a barrier for her in using the myo. Also, because she was born without the rest of her left arm, she didn't think about all these motions that you and I just make, right, on a regular basis. She was still doing that. And when she would fire off those, I'm not going to use the right word, but whatever those muscles are to make the myo work, she sometimes did it accidentally or not on purpose. So then the myo would engage and do other things versus the body powered, where it's a very specific like shoulder back movement that she has to use. So the opportunity for misfires, I guess, for lack of a better word, is way less with the body powered.
You spoke about writing. Tell me about your ability to write with your myoelectric prosthesis versus how you can do it with this arm.
With my myoelectric, I had to be very careful on how I held my hand because it was so sensitive to movement. So I would just be writing and the pen would fall, or it would just mess up. Whereas this one, especially with this lock on it, I can hold it and it'll actually stay where I want it to be, and I can stay more steady and focus on how I write it versus needing to hold my hand a certain way.
What don't you use the prosthesis for?
There's not a lot of things that I'm not able to use it for or choose not to, but I don't use it during dinner because sometimes when I'm with my family, we're elbow to elbow. So it's sometimes just taking row, and it's just easier and more efficient to just use my hand as is. And I don't use it during soccer because it's against the rules.
When you were looking at all of the different options for your prosthesis, what was the most important to you?
I wanted one that was very simple to use and one that would just support my whole body. Like I didn't have to just use my arm to hold it. Another thing with my other prosthetics was it restricted, because I'm just a little bit more for my elbow, and it restricted that movement that I had here, which this prosthetic doesn't do. It doesn't restrict me.
What are your overall goals for using a prosthesis, and what do you hope to gain from using the new one?
Well, my mom was really worried about me overusing this arm, so I hope that using my prosthetic more will just help balance me out more and hopefully not overuse my arm too much.
Feel like there's so many kids, young adults, who have upper limb deficiencies on one side or the other that have like back and shoulder problems, right? And so being symmetrical, I think there's a lot to be said for that. And you saw Shelby, I don't know if you noticed Shelby, but when she was sitting here talking to you, she had her hands clasped. Whereas if she did not have the prosthetic on, she would be sitting like this, right? She's still clasp her hands, regardless if it's her residual arm or her. So even just that little motion, I think helps. All of it's going to help maybe keep her more symmetrical and possibly not have so much overuse on her right side.
What advice would you give to other patients who are about to receive their first prosthesis?
To explore all the options and understand what each arm would give you and how it would benefit you and your hobbies and what you'd be able to accomplish with them versus without an arm. And if you don't think that it would fit your lifestyle, then I want to give. One of the things when younger kids come up to me, they'll ask me if what I can't do instead of what I can do. So usually I just tell them that I'm not good at doing a handstand, but I can beat you in rock, paper, scissors no matter what. So, do you want to play rock, paper, scissors?
Sure.
Okay, that's wrong.